Rules Committee will come to order. First of all, we'll call a roll. Mr. Clerk, open the roll.
Yeah, Kathy. Is the roll?
Yes, got
Please.
Clerk can close the roll.
Mr. Speaker, quorum's present.
Okay, we're going to go through our agenda pretty quickly here. I think we're going to go by study subcommittee report first. So I'll call on the subcommittee chair, Delegate Helmer.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, we're going to do a number of things in block here, but before we do that, could we just pull HB 1299 out of the block, out of the second block?
There's been I'm assuming that's a motion, Delegate?
That's a request.
It's just a request. It's a request,
Okay.
Mr. Speaker.
Okay, we take that out of the block. You want to do that first?
Mr. Chair, can I take HB 932 out of the block as well?
So you want to take 932 and what's the other one?
1299.
1299 out of the block. They're out of the block.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, with those out of the block, we'll act on subcommittee report on block 1, which is House Bill 285, House Bill 336, House Bill 814, House Bill 903, House Bill 1433. The Studies Subcommittee recommended reporting these bills and referring them to the Committee on Appropriations, and I so move.
Second.
Do we have any, we don't have any, there are some substitutes. I think you have to adopt those substitutes.
Okay.
In the block.
I apologize. I withdraw
You
my
can do them in a
motion,
block.
Mr. Speaker.
Okay. You can do them in a block.
Okay. Mr. Speaker, I move the substitutes for, which one?
280.
For the entire block.
Second.
I moved all the substitutes and
And it's been moved and properly said that we accept the study substitute report. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, no. The substitutes, the studies bills are before us with substitutes.
Thank you, Mr.
Now.
Speaker. Mr. Speaker, with those substitutes now adopted, I remake my motion to report and refer as amended or substituted those bills to the Committee on Appropriations.
Second.
So that's House Bill 285, 336, 814, 903, and 1433. Report and refer to appropriations. Clerk will open the roll. Clerk will close the roll.
Ayes 12, no 0.
Ayes 12, no 0. Those bills are reported and referred to appropriations.
All right.
Next.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, the next block of bills were study subcommittee reports that were uncontested and we will make the report out. I've removed House Bill 932 and 1299. We have a number of substitutes and amendments. I move that we adopt them.
Second.
It's been properly moved and seconded to accept the substitutes in the uncontested block. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed, no. The motion is agreed to. Those bills in the uncontested block with the substitutes appropriately are before us now.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. With that, I move that we report House Bill 140, 1322, Joint Resolution 23, 24, 25, 28, 32, 33, 36, 47, 77, 78, 87, and 89.
Second.
Been properly moved and second that we report the above-mentioned bills as referenced by the subcommittee chair. The clerk will open the roll. Clerk will close the roll.
Ayes 12, no 0.
Ayes 12, no zeros. The bills report.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I'm going to bypass that block, the next block for a second, if that's okay. I'm just waiting for something from the patron. Studies Subcommittee, we had a number of legislation that the subcommittee recommended continuing to the 2024 session. That was House Bill 9, 152, 203, 415, 485, 839, 856, 858, 890, 906, 918, 1018, 1192, 1232, 1293, 1364, 1456, 1458, 1515, Joint Resolution 15, 17, 20, 22, 27, 41, 56, 73. The subcommittee recommended continuing that legislation to the 2027 session, and I so move.
Second.
It's been properly moved and second that we carry over the above mentioned legislation. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, no. The motion is agreed to. I don't think we have two more bills.
Thank you.
Three.
Mr. Speaker, I think now before us are House Bill 932, 1299, and they are in the hands of you, Mr. Speaker.
932 and 1299.
Yes, Mr. Speaker.
HJ 46 as well.
HJ 46.
And HJ 46, which I'm just waiting for. If we could do that last, that'd be great.
So I will call the patron for HB 932.
Mr. Speaker, could I present from my seat here?
Yes.
Okay, so Mr. Speaker, I pulled this out of the block. We have some additional committee line amendments for House Bill 932. The clerk has distributed those, and they're at everyone's seat. Real quickly, the first one of those would add a clarifying language after line 39 of the bill that clarifies what's been the custom and practice of the House of Delegates, which is our special sessions that don't adjourn end upon the expiration of our terms. This would just make that explicit in code. The next series of amendments strikes the obsolete term secretaries and inserts the term legislative assistants to more adequately describe the work that they do. And we know who our LAs are, and they're different from the administrative aides, what we think of as our secretaries. So these are just clarifying language there. And then finally, to be consistent with the legislation we passed earlier, I think the governor may have signed it this morning. The repeal of 30-13 is going to be effective retroactive to July 1st, 1971. Again, so we were consistent with the legislation that was signed today. Those are the line amendments. I move the line amendments.
Second.
It's been properly moved and seconded that the line amendments are before us. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, no. Line amendments are before us.
And
Now you want to talk about the bill?
Speaker, so again, this is just the recodification of all of Title 30. With the exception of these amendments, this all went through a lengthy 2-year study process with subcommittees included active and retired judges, practicing attorneys, and members of the House and Senate. For the most part, this was a consensus document. It had a unanimous report in September, and then was put in bill form later that year. And I moved the bill. I hope it's the pleasure of the committee to adopt report the bill. That's what I'm trying to say.
It's been
Move
properly
report the
moved
bill.
and seconded that we report HB 932 as amended. Clerk will open the roll. Clerk will close the roll.
Ayes 8, noes 4.
Ayes 8, noes 4. The House Bill 932 passes. And we have 1299. Delegate Delaney.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and thank you, committee members. I do have a amendment.
So moved.
The clerk will report the amendment.
Mr. Chair, on line 4, introduced in the title, after the word of, strike shall with the period inside the quotes, and then insert shall with a semicolon, and then report. And then on line 13, introduced, we'll insert 2 more enactment clauses. Number 2, that the provisions of the first enactment of this act shall not become effective unless reenacted by the 2027 session of the General Assembly. Number 3, that the Virginia Code Commission shall review the provisions of this act to evaluate the effects of this act on the Code of Virginia, including the extent of any substantive changes to the meaning of existing law or changes that would be necessitated to existing provisions by the enactment of Section 1-243.1 of the Code of Virginia as created by this act. The Code Commission shall report its findings and recommendations to the General Assembly no later than December 1st, 2026.
Move adoption of the amendment.
It's been properly moved and second to adopt the amendments.
Mr.
to
Speaker?
House,
Can I ask a question
the delegate from,
to council?
yeah, delegate has full. Go ahead.
So what happens if the Code Commission doesn't do this? It says shall. I withdraw my question, Mr.
Shall I
Speaker.
answer, Mr. Speaker?
DLS loves this bill.
Please don't. Anyway,
There's a motion on the floor.
The motion is on the floor to adopt the amendments. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, no. The amendments are adopted. Delegate Delaney.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. So this bill creates clarity surrounding the legal meaning of the word shall. It establishes that when the law uses the word shall, it creates a mandatory duty unless the statute clearly states otherwise. And in doing so, the bill reaffirms the type of precision that the law requires and that the General Assembly intends in order to operate effectively. The purpose for this bill came out of rulings going back as far as 2002. There have been several decisions that have suggested that the use of the word shall by the General Assembly and can be taken as permissive, and we've seen that litigated even very recently, where those findings, those court's decisions have been used as a reason to not follow the law, as I believe we as legislators have deemed necessary. With the presentation of this bill, however, we have heard that there may be some potential unintended consequences over the many years of the General Assembly using the word shall. So having the Code Commission do a deep dive to make sure that there are no unintended consequences, I think would be a prudent step forward. But while also, I think, affirming that this is an important duty of the General Assembly, that when we create the law and we put shall in the code, that we do, in fact, intend it to be followed. And if there are provisions where it shouldn't be, the Code Commission can have the opportunity to make that known, but that this gives the General Assembly the authority to write the law as we intend and expect that it would be followed as such.
Okay, is there a motion?
Move to report.
It's properly moved and seconded to pass, HB 1299 with amendments,
Mr.
important
Chairman.
amendments. There's a question?
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. And I ask out of ignorance on this. I'm not a lawyer, but I know there are certain canons of construction, and I'm not sure who I would ask the question to in this assembly. Our staff?
Staff. Yeah.
Okay. How customarily would the word shall be construed in legal settings?
I don't believe there's been a number of cases, but there have been some. I think generally they fall in the idea that if we don't have some sort of enforcement mechanism, then it's not really mandatory. DLS's internal drafting policies, we use shall for things that are required and may for things that are optional.
Okay. And I guess my follow-up, if I could,
Sure.
Mr. Chairman.
Yes, sir. Go away.
So would the Code Commission in its consideration of this be contemplating that practice in the course of their review of the legislation or codes sections that contain this?
Mr. Chairman, Delegate Ware, I don't want to speak for the Code Commission and how it might approach its work. We do have the chairman of the Code Commission, so I could punt to him. I just do think that what we would generally do is probably going through our uses of shall, seeing where the court would have the court opinion would be changing the impact of what that law is saying, and then kind of going from there.
Thank you, and I thank you, Mr. Chairman, Mr. Speaker.
And I will add that there's been recent case law that it says shall is not really mandatory. And so that's part of this conversation. Plus, as you all may know, we're litigating some stuff that talks about whether shall is shall. So I'm glad that this will be put off until the next session. But at any rate, as amended, HB 1299 is before us. All those, the clerk will open the roll. Clerk, close the roll.
Ayes 14, no zero.
Ayes 14, no zero. 1299 as amended has passed. So we'll see it again.
Mr. Speaker, I finished my report.
You have one more.
I do.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and thank you, committee.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Completing our subcommittee report, House Joint Resolution 46 was recommended by the subcommittee to be reported, and I believe there is a substitute motion, but I so move.
Substitute motion, Mr. Speaker. I move that we carry the bill over to 2027 under Rule 22.
Second.
It's been properly moved and seconded that we carry over HJ 46 to carry over to 2027. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, no. Bill is carried over to 2027.
That completes the subcommittee report, Mr. Speaker.
If there is no further business, I will entertain a motion to adjourn. It's been properly moved and seconded, we adjourn. All in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed, no. Commission rise.